All right, pizza lovers out there, let's dive into Zayup Pizza Solutions. If you're looking for ways to really optimize your pizza business, you've probably come across them. We've got their YouTube videos, website, even some marketing stuff. And it looks like they offer just about everything from order taking to social media to even AI chatbots. It almost sounds too good to be true, right?
Well, it's pretty remarkable how much the founder, Mohammed, emphasizes his personal experience. During the pandemic, he really saw how much small restaurants were struggling, compared to the big chains that could rely on those massive call centers.
Yeah, you really get that sense from their YouTube video. And it does make their focus on affordability and those tailored solutions for smaller places feel more genuine. Like they're not just some big tech company trying to squeeze in.
Exactly. They're really zeroing in on a need for these accessible tools
Hmm.
that are actually designed with smaller businesses in mind. And the way they break down their services, you can really tell.
Yeah, like their order taking service. Zayup talks about having trained agents who actually know the menu and can handle all those, special requests. Plus, they're available 24/7 nationwide.
I bet that's a huge relief for any pizza place owner who's tired of answering the phone at 3 a.m.
Absolutely. It lets the staff actually focus on, making and serving the pizza. But it's not just about taking orders. They also go a step further with text marketing.
Okay, so what's the deal with text marketing? Is it just sending out coupons?
It's actually a lot more sophisticated than that. It's really about targeted messaging. So think about it. You can send out promotions that are tailored to specific customer preferences, remind people about their favorite deals, even announce limited time offers. It's all about staying top of mind and hopefully, driving those impulse pizza orders.
So it's not just blasting out mass text. It's more about really knowing your customers and what they're craving.
Right. And then they add in social media marketing on top of that. From their website, it looks like they go all out. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even Google Ads. Wow, talk about covering all the bases. But how effective is all that really? Is it just posting pretty pictures of pizza?
It's definitely more strategic than that. They talk about creating engaging content, running targeted ads, basically making sure your pizza is showing up everywhere potential customers are scrolling. The goal is to build up that online presence and ultimately drive traffic to your website, which of course they can also help you build.
Oh, right. The website. That's another key piece of the puzzle. They mentioned this thing called responsive design, which sounds important, but also kind of techy.
It's actually pretty straightforward. Think of it this way. Someone's browsing for pizza on their phone late at night. A responsive design means your website will automatically adjust to their screen size. So it looks good. It's
Yeah.
easy to navigate and makes ordering a breeze. No more squinting at tiny text or wrestling with clunky menus.
So it's all about making the customer experience really smooth and effortless, no matter what device they're using.
Exactly.
But wait, there's more, right? They've got this whole AI thing going on.
Right, that's where things get really interesting. They've got something called an AI calling agent.
Whoa, an AI that actually takes customer calls. I'm picturing like a robotic voice reading off a script. How does that even work?
Well, from what they say on their website, it's about using AI to handle those routine calls more efficiently. Think about those basic inquiries like, what are your hours? Or do you deliver to my area? Or even taking simple orders. The AI is trained to understand these requests and provide accurate information. Or process those orders without a hitch.
So it's not about replacing human interaction entirely, more like handling those high-volume repetitive tasks. So your staff can focus on, the more complex stuff, or those customers who need that extra bit of attention.
Exactly. It's all about finding that right balance. But they don't stop there. They've also got this AI chatbot that lives on the website.
Oh yeah, the chatbot. Those are popping up everywhere these days. Is it just a glorified FAQ page, or can it actually do stuff?
Oh, it's definitely more than just an FAQ page. Think of it like a 247 digital employee. It can answer customer questions, guide them through the menu, even help them place orders, all without any human intervention. And because it's available around the clock, it can capture those late-night orders you might otherwise miss.
So it's like having an extra pair of hands, but digital ones, constantly working to streamline your operations. But doesn't that risk losing that personal touch? People like to feel like they're talking to a real person, especially when they're ordering something as comforting as pizza.
That's a really good point, and it's something we should definitely dig into more as we explore Zayup's approach further. But for now, it's clear they're betting big on AI and automation to really transform how these pizza businesses operate.
Okay, so we've got order taking, text marketing, social media blitzes, website design, and even AI calling agents and chatbots. They really do seem to cover it all. But how does it all fit together? Do all these pieces actually work in harmony?
That's the big question. And it's something we'll definitely tackle in the next part of our deep dive. We'll look at how Zayup integrates all these services into a cohesive system, and whether it really delivers on that promise of a more efficient and profitable pizza business.
All right, hang on to your pizza boxes, folks. We're just getting warmed up.
It's amazing how Zayup has managed to pull all of these separate services together into one big package. It's not just about having all these different tools. It's about creating a system where everything actually works together.
Okay, I see the bigger picture now. It's like they've built this well-oiled pizza-making machine, right? The order-taking system handles all the calls so your team can focus on actually making the pizzas. And at the same time, all the marketing stuff is bringing in new orders through text messages, social media, and those targeted ads. And then you've got the website sitting there ready to turn those hungry scrollers into paying customers.
Exactly. It's all about creating this really smooth experience, not just for the business, but for the customer too. Just imagine someone scrolling through Instagram and they see an ad for your new pizza special. They click through to your website, which looks amazing on their phone thanks to that responsive design, and bam, they place an order through the AI chatbot without even having to talk to anyone. Talk about effortless.
Yeah, that does sound pretty slick. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. With all this automation, isn't there a risk of losing that human touch? Pizza is about more than just efficiency, right? It's about that friendly neighborhood vibe.
That's a really important point, and it's something that a lot of businesses are struggling with as they adopt more technology. Yeah. How do you keep that personal connection when everything is driven by algorithms? It's a real balancing act.
Well, Zayup does mention that their AI systems are designed to handle those simple tasks and then escalate the more complex issues to a real person. But is that enough to really keep that, warm, fuzzy feeling that makes people love your pizza place?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something that anyone thinking about using Zayup should really consider. Maybe it's about finding ways to inject some personality into those automated interactions, or making sure there's always a way for customers to talk to a real person if they want to.
So those glowing customer testimonials on Zayup's website, they all sound fantastic, but
We're wondering how representative they really are. It's natural to be a little skeptical.
yeah.
After all, those are just carefully chosen snippets.
Exactly. It would be great to see some independent reviews or maybe some case studies, something that digs a little deeper into the real impact that Zayup has had on businesses.
I agree those would be really helpful. But even without that level of detail, we can still make some educated guesses. Remember, Zayup is aligning themselves with some big trends in the food industry, like the demand for convenience, the rise of online ordering, and of course, the increasing role of automation. By tapping into those trends, they're in a good position to meet the changing needs of both pizza businesses and their customers.
So they're not just riding the wave, they're actually trying to figure out where the wave is going to break next.
That's a great way to put it. And their focus on small businesses is really smart too. A lot of these big tech companies overlook that segment. But Zayup sees it as an opportunity to empower those smaller players with affordable, tailored solutions. They're carving out a really interesting niche.
Okay, so they've got the trends on their side. They're addressing a specific market need. And they've got a system that seems pretty comprehensive. But there's one thing we haven't talked about yet that's really crucial in this digital age: data security.
Oh, you're right. With all this information flowing through Zayup systems, customer data order, details marketing preferences, data security and privacy are absolutely essential.
Yeah, their website mentions having a secure platform, but they don't really go into much detail about their specific protocols. I think that's something that potential customers would really want to know more about, especially with all those data breaches we hear about these days.
Absolutely. Transparency is key when it comes to data. Customers want to know that their information is being handled responsibly, and businesses need to be upfront about their security measures to build trust.
Okay, so we've got this really interesting dynamic emerging here. On one hand, Zayup is offering all these tools that could completely change how pizza businesses operate, make them more efficient, more connected, more competitive. But on the other hand, there are some valid concerns about the downsides of all this automation, the importance of keeping that human connection, and, of course, the need for strong data security and transparency.
It's a lot to consider,
Mm.
and anyone thinking about using Zayup needs to weigh those factors carefully. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
So before you jump in headfirst and order the whole Zayup pizza, so to speak, what are some key questions you should be asking?
Well, first and foremost, how will the Zayup system actually align with your specific needs and goals? Do you really need all those bells and whistles, or are there certain services that are more important for your business?
Right, it's about finding what works for you, not just adopting technology for the sake of it.
Exactly. And then there's the question of cost. They talk about being affordable, but what does that actually mean? What are their pricing plans like? What kind of contracts do they have?
And how does that compare to the potential savings you could get from increased efficiency? It's about doing the math and seeing if it actually makes financial sense for your business.
Then there's the human factor.
Hmm.
How comfortable are you relying on AI and automation for certain parts of your customer interactions? How are you going to make sure that personal touch stays a part of your brand?
And how will you deal with customers who might be hesitant to interact with bots instead of humans? It's about finding that balance between technology and genuine human connection.
And of course, data security should be a top priority. You want to ask about their specific security protocols, how they store data, and how they protect customer privacy.
It's about making sure your customers' information is in good hands.
Right. So it's not just about whether Zayup works. It's
Mm.
about whether it's the right fit for you. And that takes some careful thought and research.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've looked at how Zayup's system works, we've weighed the potential benefits and drawbacks, and we've talked about some key questions you should be asking. But there's one big question still hanging in the air. Does Zayup actually deliver on its promises?
That's what we'll be exploring in the final part of our deep dive. We'll look at the evidence, examine their track record, and see if this pizza-powered platform really lives up to the hype.
Stay tuned, pizza enthusiasts. The final slice of our Zayup investigation is coming up next.
Okay, pizza fans, the moment of truth has arrived. We've broken down Zayup's platform, looked at the pros and cons. Now the big question, does it actually work? Well, their website has this whole section called testimonials. And you always got to take those with a grain of salt, of course. But they do give us a little peek into what some real-world experiences have been like. We've got Liam Smith raving about how Zayup's order-taking system totally streamlined their whole process, reduced wait times, boosted customer satisfaction. Then there's Emma Johnson, whose restaurant website designed by Zayup apparently saw a huge jump in online orders, more engagement overall. And John Doe gives all the credit to Zayup's social media marketing for helping them reach a wider audience and really build that brand loyalty.
So lots of happy pizza people, it seems. But are these just like the best of the best,
Yeah.
carefully chosen to make Zayup look good? Or is there something real behind these success stories?
That's the tricky part. We don't have access to those independent reviews or data analysis or any comparisons with their competitors. Ideally, we want to see case studies, industry reports, something more concrete to really judge Zayup's impact objectively.
It's like smelling a delicious pizza but not being allowed to actually take a bite. It's enticing, but you need that taste to really know for sure.
Exactly. But even without all that super detailed information, we can still make some educated guesses. Remember, Zayup is really in tune with those big industry trends. The need for convenience, the rise of mobile, ordering, all that automation. By tapping into those trends, they're putting themselves in a good spot to really cater to what both pizza businesses and their customers are looking for.
So they're not just riding the wave, they're kind of anticipating where that wave's going to crash next.
That's a perfect way to put it. And that focus on small businesses is really smart too. Those bigger tech companies often forget about that segment. But Zayup sees an opportunity to give those smaller players some real power. Affordable, tailored solutions. They're carving out a pretty impressive niche.
Okay, so they've got the trends on their side. They're targeting a specific market. They've got a system that seems pretty comprehensive. And they've got some positive feedback from customers. Sounds like they're onto something.
They definitely are. But it's not a guaranteed recipe for success. The pizza industry is tough. Zayup's going to have to keep adapting and evolving to stay ahead of the game. They need to address those concerns about data privacy, make sure all their AI stuff is working seamlessly, and maybe most importantly, show that their technology actually helps improve that human side of the pizza experience.
So what does this all mean for you, our pizza-loving listeners? Well, Zayup gives us this exciting glimpse into the future of the industry. A future where automation and personalization go hand in hand, where technology helps businesses focus on what they do best, and where customers can order their favorite pizza with unbelievable ease.
But here's one last thought. Zayup provides the tools, but the success of any pizza business really comes down to the people running it, their passion, their creativity, their dedication. It's about finding that balance between using technology and preserving what makes your pizza special.
The real secret ingredient. So if you're curious about what Zayup has to offer, check out their website. Book a demo. See if their solutions could be that missing piece of your pizza puzzle. But don't forget to think critically. and hold on to that vision for what makes your pizza business unique.
Because at the end of the day, the future of pizza isn't just about technology. It's about that perfect blend of innovation and traditional efficiency and heart. And that's definitely something worth celebrating. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. But the conversation doesn't have to stop here. Head over to our website to share your thoughts on Zayup, and let us know what other pizza-related topics you want us to dive into next. Until then, happy pizzaing, everyone.